welcome to the first version of the Digital Voice. Present with me is Law Society student Mariah Drea. Say hello.
Hello.
And Ratan Friedman.
Hi.
And our sound engineer and writing guru is Dave Rogers, sitting on my right. And Neil Andrus is here, timing for us to make sure that we all do things right. Okay, today we're going to discuss the gun issue, which has been kind of hot and in the papers and online. Actually, we're going to talk about three separate issues. First, I'm going to start with Matan because his capstone is actually in this, which led us to this topic. Matan, the issue, should security guards on campus have guns?
The issue's kind of hot topic. Should people, and especially security guards, be able to carry on campus, especially after the wake of Sandy Hook and with all the other campus shootings that have gone on? It's an interesting topic because not many schools have armed guards on campus, especially this school doesn't have armed guards on campus. Our security just walks around. A lot of it's just people just see them as parking attendants, but they're also responsible for protection of the student body here.
Would you feel more protected if they had guns?
Would I feel more protected? Sure, but I don't know about other people and how they would feel. Personally, I don't mind seeing armed guards, but a lot of people would consider that being prison-esque, and schools and universities aren't supposed to feel like a prison. They're supposed to be out, and you're supposed to feel free and open and just free to do whatever you want.
Mariah, where do you come in on this?
I feel the same as Matan. I really don't have a problem with security guards carrying guns. I just think that it's who they hire to carry them.
Okay, well, that's a big issue because who they hire, whether professional officers or rent-a-cops. Mm-hmm. And right now, from what I understand, they're basically rent-a-cops.
They are.
So I would tell you that would you feel comfortable with rent-a-cops on campus with guns? Because that would be the reality of it.
No, not if they didn't have any proper training. I don't feel much protected or anything.
Could you see a situation, Matan, where something may get out of hand, where a gun may be used by a security officer and a student hurt?
I mean, probably not a student, but if they're protecting a student, probably maybe. If you have to use your gun, you're using your gun. You signed up to use your gun, so it's a valid argument. But you have to take into consideration that if you're going to have it on you, and it comes down to it, you're going to use it. But if they have the proper training and the proper licensing, that should be sufficient enough to let them distinguish when they should use their gun and when they shouldn't use their gun.
Now this is just me, but if I saw a security officer with a gun, I think it would just be something that would ruin the whole feeling of the campus. I just think the presence of a gun on campus, which is supposed to be a place of safety, I know having a gun, some would argue, would be more safe, but the gun itself being present would just viscerally bothers me. I don't know if I'm expressing it right. Do you have, let me ask Dave, because Dave is a faculty member. Would you have the same feelings on that?
Yeah, I would be actually frightened if people were carrying guns on campus, both security guards as well as students or faculty administrators. I guess I trust people, but I don't trust people's day-to-day lives to always go as well where they
maybe have a bad day.
Might have a bad day.
A security officer with a bad day.
And go postal.
Right.
So should there be more police on campus? Somebody who would be trained in a viable source of protection?
But would you want to deal with these people? Because if they're cops, they're trained as police officers, and they'd be a lot more rigid than these security officers in letting you get away or not letting you get away with things.
And wouldn't police officers cost the university more money to have on campus?
Well, absolutely. But the question would be, listen, this is a campus. We're looser than society, usually. A trained officer may not let you get away with some things that a security guard who sees you every day will let you get away with. What do you think of that, guys?
I'm not really sure what the question is.
Well, do you want cops here?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm not very trustworthy of cops, but that's just an inherent thing of a 22-year-old person. So.
I think it would feel more prison-esque to have actual police officers than security.
But just in case, if something goes down, is an unarmed security guard going to be able to be there to protect a person? Is he going to put himself out there in front of you for $10 an hour or whatever he's going to get, or is he going to, screw it, I'm done. Like, I don't get paid enough for this.
Right. If we have a Virginia situation, golf,
Exactly.
are they going to be in there, or they're just out there on their little scooters heading the other way?
Yeah, like, I mean, personally, I don't know protocol for what's supposed to go on here. Like, I don't know if something were to happen, what am I supposed to do? Do I just sit down and bunker down like they taught us in elementary school?
That leads us to a very good, that's the next situation. Should the students here know what the protocol is if someone loses it in a classroom? If something, God forbid, again, like Virginia happens, where are we supposed to go? How are we supposed to handle it? I'll go to Mariah. Do you know if something like that happened in our school? Do you know what would happen, how you would be informed, or what the protocol would be?
I don't know anything about the protocol and what we were supposed to do. I think that's kind of like an issue on the university's behalf, because I think when new students come here, we go through orientation. They teach us so much about what we're already supposed to do and where to go, but that's one of the things that they leave out, like a what in case, like just in case, like what if something was to happen.
Would you feel more comfortable if there was such a situation? They said, listen, if something happens that's an emergency, this is where you go, this is how you handle it.
Let me repeat that.
Of course, replay it, please. Would you want to know that protocol? Would it make you feel safer?
Yeah, it'll help me out, like in case something like that was to happen. At least I would know what to do or have an idea of what to do, not just blank stare.
How about you, Matson?
I've been here for 5 years. This is my 5th year. And not once have we ever done a drill or any of that about what happens. And I mean, since I got here, Virginia Tech has happened and some other stuff has gone down on other universities. And the only thing that is told to me is we'll send you a text message if something, about incidents, or you'll get an email if an incident happens. But, like, that doesn't really help me out here. Like, if there's an incident on campus, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? Who am I supposed to rely on? These are questions that no one has really answered for me, or, up until this point hasn't answered to me. And I'm trying to get that for my capstone project. But, I mean, the flip side is, if we tell you where to go, what to do, then the person who, might be a student will also know the protocol of what we're supposed to do, and then can inflict more damage. But there has to be some sort of medium there. Like, there has to be a way for me to feel safe on my campus and be just in case one of these things happen. And you don't want to think about every day. Oh no, something's going to happen, and I should walk in here. But just in case, we should all know something. About
we should be left in the dark.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Let me switch to another topic, because also hot in the news is students carrying concealed weapons. The LaPierre, I believe he's the vice president of the NRA, said that students and faculty, we'll get to that in a second, should carry guns, so if something happens, they can take care of it. One good guy could take care of a bad guy. Should we have students having concealed weapons on Philadelphia University?
Personally, I think if they're trained and licensed and everything, they've had proper training and they know the extremes about guns and how it is a powerful object and that you literally have a person's life in your hand when you are pointing a gun at them, then I think that they should be allowed to. But at the same time, you should definitely have restrictions and be able to keep it in a lock. You have to have a lockbox and all that stuff at all times. If you can't. You can't be drinking and operating your gun and stuff like that.
Well, that's taking a very big assumption. Mariah, you want to chime in before I go after Matan on this?
I don't think that we will. I think people think of universities and schools in general as like a safe place to be, safer than most places. And I think that to have or to know that a person sitting next to you is carrying a gun or is licensed to carry and they're able to bring that weapon on campus, I just think that just opens up a whole new can of worms.
I just think from my experience as a student, now as a professor, students are under tremendous stress. There's a lot of alcohol, there's a lot of drugs going on, and frankly, the thought of students in the dorm, at least when I went back to college back in the Stone Age, if students had guns, I don't think half of us would have survived. I really don't. I mean, a lot of students put their fists through walls, broke glass walls through toilets. They actually threw toilets out of windows. I'm not kidding. Ripped it up and threw it out of the window. If this kid had a gun, he would have taken out half of the dorm. It scares the heck out of me.
I mean, once again, looking at like these few people and judging all people for it. And while it's a risk, at the same time, we have people here who get mugged off of campus. We have people, cars who are broken into, and security really can't do anything about that now. If a student was strapped, he can take care of it on his own. I'm not saying that he's going to shoot somebody, but I mean, the chances of you getting mugged when, give me your money, dude, I'm strapped, go away. Like, that is a feasible possibility here. And, I mean, over the last couple of years, there have been not lots, but a significant amount of them that I've received of,
those warnings.
That, these people have, keep an eye out. There are 3 people who have been mugging people or they're looking for cars to break into and stuff like. And security, we don't have enough security to actually protect.
So you would feel safer, summing up, you would feel safer on campus with guns?
If they're licensed and trained properly.
Understood.
Yes.
Mariah?
I say no. I wouldn't feel safer. I think it does more harm than it does good. And even using the scenario he used, if somebody's coming on campus and trying to rob students or stick them up, that person, the criminal might not have a gun, but who's to say that next time they come around, they won't have one themselves because they officially know that students on this campus is allowed to use or carry guns. Like, I just think that it's not a good thing.
Ramps up the risk.
Yeah.
Which leads us to our last thing, which I'll go to our engineer and soundboard operator because it's a faculty question. The other issue is, should faculty carry guns?
Absolutely not. I can see faculty meetings going really
Half of administration gone.
I know. I think I might turn in my papers more often than all time if you were strapped. So.
Well, there might be benefits, I guess. I will cap your ass if you don't bring your paper to class. That could be the motto. I will cap your ass.
That's
if you
on
don't
the
bring your
syllabus,
paper to
actually,
class.
right?
Yeah.
It's on the syllabus. But seriously,
I would not feel safer if, Evan, for example, you were carrying a weapon, whether you were completely trained or not. In fact, I think instead for me, what that creates is a culture of fear where I would probably be more worried and think it would be a preoccupation that would be distracting to me and the other work and other kind of a mental energy that I want to attend to.
And just from my point of view, first of all, of course, taking Matan's prerequisite that everyone has to be trained and know how to use it. But even with that, I would not want to carry a gun. I think it would separate me out from the students. I would feel that just the power positions, this were all adults, but still I'm in a position of power because I'm a professor. But I still think we try to make it as close to a collaborative effort. And carrying a gun would just separate me from you guys. It just says, look at me, I've got the power. And I don't want the responsibility, to be honest with you.
Well, that's the other thing. It assumes that in that moment, whether I'm trained or not, I'm actually I'm going to react in the right ways. You know what I mean? I don't know what I would do if someone came into my classroom with a semi-automatic weapon and started shooting off students. I really don't. I would like to think that I would be courageous and do something good, but I might just hide behind my desk and be, bye, taking care of me. I just got my PhD.
Well, with that word on PhDs, we'll end our first broadcast of the Digital Voice, which, by the way, for full credit, was given to us by Matan Friedman. Thank you. I want to thank you folks for appearing today, and hopefully we'll have more of these.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks.